Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, it's Jan here. This is the second of my videos on the Doctor Strange post-credit scenes. In my first video I discussed the mid-credit scene from the film which teases a major plot point from an upcoming Marvel Phase 3 movie. But in this video I'm going to discuss the final post-credit scene that appears right at the end of the movie after all the credits have rolled. Just so you're aware, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, there is a major spoiler here for this movie and a future movie. So if you want to avoid that, you can check out my spoiler-free review of the film right here. The scene opens with a hooded figure walking into a workshop where Jonathan Pangborn is working. Pangborn asks, "Can I help you?" and the hooded figure takes off his hood, revealing himself as Mordo. Mordo then replies, "I carried you to Camartage on a stretcher. Look at you now, Pangborn." Just to recap, Pangborn is the paralysed man who Doctor Strange refused to meet when he was a neurosurgeon as he said he was untreatable. However, after his own accident, Strange met with Pangborn and learned that Pangborn had discovered the power of magic at Camartage and was using it to heal himself so he could live his life without being paralysed. As for Mordo, he starts the film as Doctor Strange's ally, but by the end of the movie is furious at Strange for using the Eye of Agamotto to manipulate time. And on top of that, Mordo is also angry because he discovered that the Ancient One was using power from the Dark Dimension to live longer than would normally be possible for a human being. Okay, back to the post-credit scene. Pangborn senses there's something wrong about Mordo, so reaches for a crowbar. He asks Mordo what he can do for him, and Mordo explains that he's been away for several months and had a revelation that the true purpose of a sorcerer is to twist things out of their proper shape, stealing power, perverting nature, like you. Pangborn replies that he's stolen nothing and that the power he holds is his own. Mordo retorts ominously that power has a purpose. Pangborn, who now realises that Mordo has evil intent, tries to attack him with the crowbar, but Mordo reaches into Pangborn's stomach and extracts a yellow light, causing Pangborn to collapse, his body now shaking as he's lost the magic he used to fight his paralysis. Mordo then says he now understands what is wrong with the world, which is that there are too many sorcerers. The scene ends and cuts to the words, "Doctor Strange will return." So this scene sets up a possible Doctor Strange sequel and a villainous role for Mordo in the future MCU. In the comics, Mordo studied with the Ancient One but had nefarious objectives, and in this final post-credit scene we get to see his character tie up with his traditional depiction as a villain in the comics. In a Doctor Strange sequel, some of the plot could revolve around Mordo trying to rid the world of sorcerers, for example by taking their powers like he did with Pangborn and amassing them for himself, getting ever more powerful. Or what about this for a potential sequel idea involving Mordo? Strange obviously succeeded in angering Dormammu in the movie by trapping him in a time loop and forcing him to agree to end his assault on Strange's world and never come back. Well, Strange also drew the wrath of Dormammu in the Strange Tales comics when Doctor Strange told Dormammu, "You must vow never to invade the Earth," and although Dormammu agreed, he was determined to get revenge on Strange. Then later in the comics, Dormammu got around that agreement by using Mordo as a proxy, telling Mordo, "I shall give you power without limit so you may destroy Doctor Strange." So perhaps we'll see Mordo ally with Dormammu in a similar way in a Doctor Strange movie sequel. Or maybe Mordo could come back before then, for instance in Avengers Infinity War, if he gets recruited by Thanos to help him recover the Infinity Stones. By the way, I also felt there was an interesting unintended parallel between the post-credit scene in Doctor Strange and the mid-credit scene in the Green Lantern movie where Mark Strong's Sinestro, who's previously been on the Green Lantern side, takes off his green ring and puts on the yellow ring, signalling his transformation into a villain, as well as setting up a potential Green Lantern sequel that never was. So that was the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange. Were you excited to see Mordo turn to the dark side and fulfill his comic book villain role? And what would you like to see in a Doctor Strange sequel? If you haven't seen it yet, you can check out my breakdown of the mid-credit scene here. And do make sure you're subscribed and you've got your notifications turned on for Flicks in the City for a chance to win this awesome Doctor Strange book, which I'll be giving away on my Easter egg video. You might also like to check out my Doctor Strange playlist, which will feature my Easter egg breakdown, my movie review, WTF facts about the film, and also interviews with the cast. Click either of the links below to check those out. And if you like this, I really appreciate you hitting those like and share buttons. Thanks for watching and see you next time, yippee-ki-yay movie lovers!